Alright, going to set off up a trail that was a nice trail that I did a video on a couple of years ago, I think. And they've since reclaimed a lot of this. They redid it all. And I've got to cross this creek. They did have originally 2 trees across there, but looks like they're gone. So I'm going to paddle across here. I don't have my welly boots on, so I've got to find a dry route to get across. So let's see what I can do. That is a much easier process when you've got welly boots on. Right, now this trail here, as you can see, it's all been reclaimed. This is how they reclaim it and stuff, which is good. You can see they've been up here. Tree planting people have been in, new trees going in. But I did see one set of footprints across here, so I guess this is the replant. Yeah. Which is good. It's good to see them doing it. I'm all for that. Yeah. It is a natural part of the recycling of the forest. This was a road a little while ago. It was a very muddy, wet, yuck, crap road, I must admit. But believe it or not, there is actually a trail that goes up this side, goes up there and around that corner. So I'm just going to fight my way over these logs and see what I can do. The way up this mess. A lot of replanting in here. They put loads of trees in here. The road went up round that way. The original trail went up through there on that corner. So if you come up here, that is actually the way you want to go, up through there. Yeah, so this is on the old trail that was. I can't think what this trail is called now. It goes around a mountain called Dawson. And I did this trail many years ago, and I did a last walk around on Dawson year before they cut it. So I'm going to try and go around the same route. I don't even know how much of the original route is still available. But this was the old trail. Had some deer up in here, but that's about it. Now the road they built was off to the right, but you really don't want to try and walk up that. That's a mess. So I will try this one and see how I get on. Whew. It's a bit cooler this morning. It's been bloody hot all week. So yeah. This was the original road from many years ago. See, it's all cut out there. But forest equipment has got a lot bigger since they did the first lot all those years ago. Now once I get up the top of here, I'll very quickly come back onto the bit they reclaimed. So this was the old trail. I actually cut that tree out of there a few years back. Whew. Right, getting there. I don't know how bad it's going to be walking up this reclaimed road. Ooh, a mess. By the look of it, a complete mess. Either way, it's better than walking up that. So I will continue this way and see what I can do. Well, I'm at the top of the hill. The ground is very soft in here, obviously, where it's been turned over last year. They only closed this road off last year, so it takes a while for nature to pack it back in there again. In the meantime, makes for a little bit of a squishy walk. I think I'd have actually been better off just walking up through the forest. However, me being me, like to explore, see what changed, see what didn't. Now this bit over here, I can get to it. There's the old helipad. I can get over there. Yeah. Hopefully this mess on the hill doesn't continue for too far, because there's reclaiming a road and then they're just making a mess for the sake of making a mess. You want to reclaim the hills, because the hills is where you're going to have the erosion. That's what all these logs are here for, help stop all the erosion and stuff. Because with this loose mud and a lot of rain on there, you'll be surprised how quick that'll all wash downhill. But, a little bit of grass up in here still. That's good. Oh, that looks a bit better. Some of the garbage has cleared out. Yes. Many years ago, decades ago, this was an emergency site here, and somebody mentioned in one of their videos that this strange clearing they found out in the forest. And this one's the same. This was an old emergency site. This was the emergency helipad. If anybody got injured out here, this is where they would have picked them up from. Now all along here, this tree used to have the emergency sign in it. See, they took that down. That's good. But that's why quite often you'll find these big open areas like this. It's actually a helivac site. So should they need to bail anybody out of here, they can. So my trail is down that way, so I'm going to head down there in a minute and see what's left of it. A little ways off trail, the place that I used before. This was in one of my videos. This was, I think it was entitled How to Build a Fire, basically with a little wood supply. As you can see, I cleared out a lot of the small bits off the trees. My old fire ring pile is there. And all these shrubs, all this lot, has all grown since then. None of those were there before. Yeah. Yes, this was an old site that I'd used. But yes, I have these places. If you see, there's wood stashed up against the tree over there. See the big logs leaning up against the tree? That's firewood supply. We do have a complete and utter province-wide fire ban on at the moment. So basically, anything that burns wood, you are not allowed. Wood, coal, briquettes, nothing. So it's, yeah, we need some decent rain. But the entire province is on a complete fire ban. So unfortunately, I can't have a campfire. But that's one of the places that I've used in the past. Right, on I go. Well, so far so good. This is looking rather nice. I will take this. I'm not sure how well it's going to be further down, because I can see more clear out through the trees there, where I know there wasn't any clearing before. So we shall see. All this stuff on here that's marked with the blue, that's a permanent stand. They're not supposed to cut that at all. So we shall see. As I say, this was a road through here at one point. Oh, get off, fly. Christ. Bloody things are a pain. It's the only thing this time of the year. Bugs. I have literally, I don't like using a lot of bug spray, but I have literally just drowned myself in bug spray. Yeah. Yeah. Right. There used to be a turn off here somewhere that went off over that way that I used to use as a cut through, but my trail that I want actually goes down through there, believe it or not. So we'll go that way. Well, so far so good. Only a small bits of deadfall to get off the trail. So believe it or not, this is a trail. This is a trail that doesn't get used much. I suspect with all the logging up in here, it might get used a little less. It's a shame, because the bottom end of this trail is actually really nice. A bit concerned by all the clearing I can see out off to my right there, but we shall see. As you can see, there was a well-trodden tread through here. So I like to walk this one once, maybe twice a year, just to clear up little bits that are in here, little bits of deadfall. Now this piece in the bottom here used to sit really, really wet, so let's see what happens in here. It's drier than it was in previous years. Yeah. Just me and some deer by the look of it. That's good. I always like to look in the mud. Gives me a good idea of what I'm sharing the forest with. I can see over here through the trees on my right hand side that they've cleared out a bit up here. So we get to the top of this hill. Seems to be opening out a touch. I'll get up the top there and see what's left of the forest. Oh, so far up through there, I only had to clear out a little bit. Wow, there's a nice view. That there, right in front of me, that is Moose Mountain. Yeah, so looks like I've got to get back onto some of this crappy mess down here in a minute. So I will put this camera away and continue down there. Now this bit's a bit better. They haven't dug all this up and made a mess of it. The turn off you want, if you're coming up here, is just off to the right there. That'll take you back round to where I started. This looks like a little easier to walk on. Looks like we've had some like pickup trucks up here. So, like I say, it's not a bad walk down through here. It's actually quite a pleasant walk. It used to be a really nice walk, but it all got designated, or parcels of it all got designated for logging. But there are some seriously wet patches up in here, so I doubt very much whether they did much with that lot. But a lot of these really big trees in here, as I've said in some of my other videos, a lot of the really big trees were beginning to fall to pieces. Now, this might make it interesting because where's that corner gone? There was a corner and a Y piece in a trail here somewhere that kind of took off. Off to my right is Dawson Mountain, and there used to be, hello Mr. Woodpecker, there used to be off up that way somewhere, there was a little turn-off trail. Now, I'm not sure what they did here. I might have to have a little bit of a scout around, because there used to be, straight up through there towards that high point through there, go away mosquitoes, there used to be a bit up through there that you could go, but the original trail went down and around this corner. So that all looks like slashy and mess. I think the piece is actually just straight up through the centre of that shot. But what I'm going to do, I can see they continued around this corner. I'm going to head down this way a little bit because it's much easier walking. And if I'm wrong, I can come back up. So yeah, somebody's been down here in like a truck, not a dozer. Somebody walked down here too. Yeah, that's good. Yes, where I used to go was straight up through there, but since I see a road piece around that corner, I will go that way and see what I can find. If I don't get eaten alive by the mosquitoes, because I'm now out in the sun. You don't want to be out in the sun too much for the mosquitoes. Yeah. They're a pain, they're relentless. So you want to be in the shade if you can get it. Yeah. Oh, okay, they cleared that bit in there. Yeah. Now I have run into black bear down here before now, so you might be getting a video of some black bears in a minute. Because down and around this corner, when you get out into this open piece, not sure why, but the bears seem to like that corner. It's a crossing area. It's to another piece of forest on the other side. So I have seen them down in there before now, so might get to see a black bear in a minute. Yeah, some of the old trail was down in there. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's see what they did. Yeah. Put some culverts under here too. Like I say, this area does sit mighty bloody wet, I can tell you now. Yeah. This is one of those areas up through the back of here. If you're going to cut through the forest, you better know where you're going, because you can very quickly end up in Swampmageddon. Been there, done that. There's only two places that I know of that I can cross through this particular area to get to another place that I go without going through Swampmageddon. That's why I'm following this road, because right ahead of me is a bridge. I have a feeling they'd have to put a bridge here, because there is a big creek in there. When you went up over the side of that hill, there was quite a nasty creek that you had to get across. It looks like they kindly put a bridge in here for me, especially for me. They knew I was coming today. It's a bit swampy in there. See if I can get along here without falling in the puddles. I didn't bring my welly boots today, I bought my normal boots. This is where they put the bridge in. I had a feeling they were going to have to do this. Yeah. That paid off, didn't it? Eh? Right. I will continue on down this way and see what else I can find. Crow up there's making a lot of racket. Now, I've still got long sleeves on to help keep some of these mozzies off. Yeah, that bank over the other side of there, if you cross the creek. Will you guys be quiet? I'm trying to talk. Thank you very much. Yeah. Bloody crows, relentless, eh? Those things are huge too, like pterodactyls. We have pterodactyl crows. You have to be careful, make sure you wear heavy boots, otherwise the buggers will pick you up and fly away with you. Yeah, yeah, that other valley across the other side of there, I've been up through there a few times before now. Oh, they've continued right down there. Well, now that's interesting. I've got a dilemma now. Because the hill is up over that side, and I normally skirt along the hill and then up around the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this road for a bit and see just how far around this corner it goes. Well, I lost the plot back that way somewhere in the mix of the mess. If I ever do this trail again, I'll go back the other way around, I think. Because I found this is the original part of the trail. I know it is. Yeah, I recognise all the mountains there. That's all moose and everything. Yeah, so I just have to bushwhack. Like I said, this area is very wet. Look at that, soaked. I can't stop long because the mosquitoes will catch up with me. On I go. No, looks like this area is still pretty much intact. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, like I say, where I normally would have gone is up through the side of the forest that way and cut down through. But since this piece of trail is still here, might as well use it. Use it or lose it. I know pretty much every square inch of this down there, but all my markers that I use, like little creek crossings and old broken tree stumps that I've seen for years and years and years, have all gone now. Wake, rise and shine. Don't know if you heard that, but I think I've got a bear over here. Wake, rise and shine. I'm leaving. Yeah, I think we got us a bear over on this side. Wake, rise and shine. That was a lot of grunting and very unhappy. So, I might have to drop this camera in a minute and take on a fucking bear. Not really something I want to do. Bear spray is handy. Catch is off, safety is off. Oh shit. Oh crap. That's not good. But I hate to have to do this, but I have to walk back up this way. I dropped the clip off my bear spray, which means I cannot put it back in my pouch. Really don't want to be doing this. But I have to see if I can find that. Alright, I took my bear spray out around here somewhere. No, this is not good. This is not good at all. This might be about to turn nasty. Crap. Yeah. So I took my bear spray out about here. I've got to see if I can find that clip. Bear spray comes with a safety clip on it. I was too busy looking at the bear to pay attention. So I really didn't want to be retracing my steps here. Okay, I'm going to put this camera away, I need to concentrate. Seriously, that seriously sucks. I went back, I couldn't get right back to where the bear was because I don't want to return to the area. The bear knows I left. You never want to return to that area because now you're challenging that bear. But that ain't going to happen. It was getting seriously pissed that I was there. So once they start that snorting and jumping on the ground crap, it's time to leave. But yep, I suspect that bear probably has cubs over there somewhere. So it's time for me to get the fuck out of here. So I went back as far as I could. I couldn't see him, just make sure I'm not being followed. I don't believe so. The bear wanted me to leave. So there might have been a carcass over there. The bear could have been feeding on a carcass for all I know. Might be something dead in there. Because the bear didn't seem to move from that one spot. It was getting very vocal and extremely pissed that I was there. So I suspect it's probably on a carcass, which is why I couldn't return to the area. I got back up there as far as I could. Couldn't see the little clip from my bear spray. So I have fashioned a little wooden peg. That will have to do for now. I have spares at home, so that's not a problem. I've got about 4 or 5 bear sprays at home, so it's not an issue. However, I hate losing things. And I hate being that close to a bear that's feeding on something. I'm absolutely convinced that that was a bear feeding on a carcass or something. Because it was snorting and punching the ground and doing that thudding crap that they do. So I think there was something dead over in there. So, wake up, rose and shine. Just make some noise, let it know I've left. Yeah. And that's why I say, always be bear aware. They are here, they are around. But I'm convinced that one was feeding on something. So, as long as it's not feeding on me. Yeah, right. I will continue on up this way and do some more in a bit. Right, I'm a good after 3/4 of a kilometre down trail away from there where that bear was, which is good. Holy crap, that man. That was a bit close for comfort. That bear was seriously unhappy. Yeah. Oh well, yeah, you do find them every now and again. So always be aware you are in bear country. So, right, now my plan was to see how far I could get down this trail, and if necessary, go back again. But I now can't go back that way because I know that there's a bear down there feeding. As you can see, I'm absolutely soaked. I had to take a little bit of a shortcut through a bit that was a bit swamp again. My boots. Yeah. Unfortunate, but part of being in the mountains. Yeah. So I will continue on around this way at a fairly good speed, but I think because the faster I move, the less mosquitoes can keep up with me. So I'll put this camera away for a bit and do some more later. Well, I've just come out the trail that way. Come through here. There's some guys up here in a truck. I think they're tree planting. And if I remember rightly, the trail used to go down there around that way. But I'm not sure. I'm going to go and say hello to these. That's good. I'll just let the lady know. She's down there unloading some boxes. They're doing some tree planting in here. All this has to be replanted, so that's all good. So this track is kind of going in the right direction that I want it to go. So I'm going to follow it for a bit. It's easier than wading through all that wet swamp. Yeah, so I will take this for a bit. It kind of goes in the right direction. This mountain off on my right hand side, this one up here, this is Dawson Mountain, but I will continue on down here. There should be some more wet patches down in here, but they've kind of used bits of the old road, bits of the new road that they've put in, and it's kind of all messed up. Either way, I just let her know that there's a bed. She's not going down to that bit, so that's good. Yeah. Right, this over here in the distance, up over on top of that hill, that's the Moose Mountain Fire Watch. Yeah. Yeah. Most of the snow's gone on the north side too. So, oh, here we go, wet patch coming up. Right, camera away. There might even be some water in there. There's a pond down here that sometimes has water in and sometimes doesn't. Might actually have some water in it today. I'll have a look. This definitely follows part of the old track, because this tree over here, when this was cut probably 50 to 100 years ago, as you can see, there used to be bigger trees in here. That was a marker, landmark, that I used to use for navigating through here. So this piece of track is actually part of the old track that came up through this way. So this will make it easier to get around that corner, that's for sure. Yeah, so that gives you an idea how big the trees were last time they harvested. And they're a lot smaller now. So, right, down and around that corner I go. Well, the sun has decided to come back out, so that's good. Christ, they've done some logging up in there. They did some a few years back, and that's all started to grow again. Up over there, you can see where it's more green. And that there is Moose Mountain. Once I'm past this tree up here, certainly a lot easier, this road. My suspicion is they will probably leave this piece of road in. They're not going to bother to dig this up. No point. Yeah, in which case it will cover over. On this side a few years ago, there's still a bunch of thistles growing in here, literally right where I am now. There was a great big tall thistle patch. See all these thistles? And they were about, oh, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet tall. Huge they were. Absolutely covered in butterflies and bees. So this is where that photograph was taken. How different it looks now. Right. Whew. Which makes me wonder whether there's going to be anything left of the old track on the far side. I might be walking through this crap all the way around. I know the top part of my loop is still there, because that's they have to leave that. That's mandatory. They have to leave that one. Oh, it's a bit rough up in there. However, it's all part of the growing process. It is how it's done. So, yeah, this was part of the old trail. Looks like they put a new road in down the bottom there too. We've got 2 roads here. Yeah. I thought I heard a quad as I was walking back up. I was probably about 1 kilometre away from where that bear was. I thought I heard a noise. Yeah, it was a quad. Yeah. So that mountain right in front of me, that great big green hill, that at the top of there, that is Cox Hill. This is all part of all the forestry they've done in there. That young lady's up in here replanting. That's bloody hard work, you know. Anybody who thinks that that's easy. I used to do tree planting in England, and I can tell you now, how we used to do it there is way less difficult, if you like. Just walk in, spade, hole, tree, walk, spade, hole, tree, walk, spade, hole, tree. Very, very simple. But we used to have to put them in tubes. We used to have these little plastic tubes put around them, because the rabbits and stuff would just eat them off, and the deer would just eat them off so bloody fast. It's not funny. But what we used to do is plant them in tubes. That's why you'll see those green plastic tubes. And then as they grow, those tubes just split. And then eventually we used to go around and pick up all the old tubes. Okay, so if you get to this point, if you're doing the Dawson Hill loop, what would that be? Anti-clockwise, you're going to come to a Y junction right here. You want to take the left fork, take that one up there, and that'll cut back. If you go down there, that will take you down into the wet spot. You really don't want to be down in there. So if you go up over the top of here, it cuts over the top of the hill. That one goes all the way out into the wet spot and around the corner and up. Where that young lady was just now, she was up in there, and you can go straight on from there. So that's part of the old trail there. Yeah, so Yeah, this has all changed quite a bit, eh? This was a tiny little trail. I used to have to trim brush off the side of this bit going up here because it was all getting overgrown. Not so much now. Right. Now the other side of this hill is where there used to be a pond, and sometimes it was full and sometimes it wasn't. So we shall see. Oh, I hear a quad. Yeah. Oh, here she comes. A lot easier to get around on that. Have a good one. Have fun. It's what people don't realise with Canadian forestry. They see all this clear cut. You look up through here, I can see areas up in here that were probably cut 10-15 years ago. And I can see areas that were cut before that and before that. This is a continuous crop. People look at all this forest out here and they think that it's all just, you know, this is how it's always been, it's natural pristine forest and all the rest of it. It's not. This is all grown. If you look up this side, look at the height of those trees there, the diameter of the trees. Those trees are probably 15 to 20 years old. Over on this side, about the same. The big tall ones down in the bottom of that valley, there is a river down in there, so they tend to leave those bits next to the creeks and the rivers. That's why you get to here and you think to yourself, yeah, I could just cut across there to Moose Mountain. Best of luck with that. Unless you're a good swimmer, you ain't going to get there. So simple as that. That is just an absolute swamp in there. Yeah. So yes, this was a tiny little trail that I used to have to clear brush off of, and as you can see, no, it's not. So I will follow this up around. Hopefully this will go past a little pond, and hopefully there'll be water in it. I will let you know when I get there. Yeah, and this area changed, eh? Wow. But I guess that's what people thought, you know, 50 or 100 years ago when they logged this out before. That's probably exactly what people thought then as well. But at least it's a road. It's easier to walk on than walking through swamp. My trousers are slowly drying out in the sun, but not by much. Look. That's why I wear wool socks. My feet are soaked, but it doesn't matter because I've got wool socks on. So you wear nylon socks like this, your feet will be destroyed by the time you get anywhere. So always buy good quality wool socks. Right, on I go. Yeah. More trees. This is what they do. They'll come out with big boxes of trees like this. If you look in here, I won't take them here, they're in the shade. It's full of trees. I don't know how many comes in a box, I couldn't tell you. Lots. So I do know, looking at that 6 over there, that we are 6 kilometres down whatever road it was they built. They put these trail markers up there for the mileage markers, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, just so that they know where they are. Yeah, I can tell you now, I can't believe how much this area has changed. Now, let me get up on this corner up here and I'll show you some things. Down in those trees over there, there is a really nice pond. Really nice. But bit of a pain, I can tell you. Right, on I go. Well, this piece of Dawson has certainly changed quite a bit. Just talking to a guy there. There's a lot of people up here planting. Just talking to this young lady down here. She's just getting all the stuff sorted. There's a guy down in there planting as well. Yeah, busy, busy, busy. That's what I've said in many of my other videos. People think, you know, this area just, oh, it's all been clear cut, it's been destroyed. See down in the bottom there, see all that green bit in the bottom there? Don't go through there. That is beyond wet. It looks like grass, it's not, it's a swamp. Yeah. I just said to that young lady about it, she's been down in there, she says, you can't walk through there. I said, yeah, I know. If you look at Cox Hill, which is that one up over there, it looks like you could cut straight across, but in the bottom here it's actually really wet, so don't ever do that. If you want to go to Cox Hill from here, unfortunately you have to go up and onto that ridge up through the forest and all the way up through there. There's a lot of deadfall up in there, so You don't want to do that unless you absolutely have to. So, it's nice to see everybody out here planting. I just said to this young lady back there, I said, oh yeah, it's nice to get out on the weekend and get some trials. She said, oh, is it weekend? Yeah. All right then. There's a lot of you guys out here planting today. Pardon? There's a lot of you guys out here planting today. That's good.
Yeah, we're hopefully finishing the block soon.
Oh, that's good.
And then we'll be out of here. Effectuate play.
Well, this used to be a little tiny trail. I did a video before it was all logged. It used to be a little trail. I do a lot of trail clearing, and I clear up deadfall and stuff. And this was a tiny little trail a few years ago.
Wow.
Look at all these bloody trees. Jesus Christ.
Have you seen the loggers?
Well, this area has certainly changed. I was going to cut down and through and back up through the forest the other side there, which is where I would normally go, which would be down and up through that lot. However, I can hear a processor running in. I was just talking to a guy down there, one of the site bosses or something, and he said they're cutting up in here. So the trail I was going to take, I can't, because obviously it's safety. Safety's first. Yeah. I was going to go up around that one, but I won't. I'll take this road. It's, yeah, so the Dawson loop is pretty much done. I don't think you can walk it anymore. It's, I did find a piece of that tree that I recognised. That piece over there. I couldn't find the little pond thing down the bottom. I need to be down in there. There's another pond down in there, but I can't go down in there at the moment because the guys are working. So I will stay well clear of their work site. There's a whole bunch of people up in here planting trees. That's hard work, that is. Yeah. Yeah. I see. I remember this piece of hill here. Remember that? Huh? What'll I be? Yes. So as long as I keep this hill off to my right, this is Dawson Mountain. As long as I keep that off to my right, I should be okay up through here. Yeah, it sounds like they're cutting down through. I know they'd marked that piece of forest where the old trail was, but it sounds like they're actually running the processor down through that area. So yeah, you have to stay well away from that stuff when they're working. So I will follow the mountain round and do some more in a bit. So my navigational spidey senses all the way down through these yellow flowers. That was part of the old trail. I thought if I cut down beside that mountain, I've just come down through that lot. But if I cut down through the side of that mountain, I should bump into this trail here somewhere. And sure enough, I have. So they are working up in here somewhere. So I can hear them off to my left. So I will be a little bit cautious. This is the old trail. Anybody who is familiar with the Dawson Loop will know this. I'm now getting soaked again. My trousers have just started to dry out too. That's a bugger, isn't it? So the bottom part of the loop, I'm now turning north. So the bottom part of the loop, down that way. Oh yeah, that's a complete mess. That is a complete mess. Not even sure you'll be able to find that now. Yeah. This piece here, I know exactly where this is, or was, because if you look down here, that tree down there, I remember cutting this tree off the trail. It was stuck across the trail. Alright, this is part of the old route. Not sure how much of this. Look at that, I've got yellow boots now. Not only have I got wet boots, I've got yellow boots. Yeah, all the fun of wandering through the forest, eh? Right, so this is my route. I will head down this way and see what I can find, see what's left of all this lot. There's only a certain amount of that big timber off on the left here. I think they harvested everything that was on the right, so it I have to be a little bit cautious up in here because the machinery is getting louder, but it is off up that next valley. Good job I didn't cut through that other valley on the other side there, because I wouldn't have been able to get through there. Yeah. Wake, rise and shine. That's my last little bear encounter. I'm being a little bit more cautious. Yeah. The lady I was talking to back there in the green, she said they saw a grizzly bear down through there a few days back, and it's right down the bottom of the valley, which wouldn't be uncommon because she said she'd been planting down in Bragg Creek as well, and they saw a whole bunch of like black bears and that down in there. That's really common. But that corridor up through here and down where they're planted now is actually a pretty well trodden wildlife corridor. So this, see all these here, that I cut that out the other here, so some of this is still here. So the green piece of meadow may still be here up the side, which is the way I used to go up Dawson Mountain. Yes, it looks like it is. But some of the grass is left. Yeah, ha, well I'll be. Oh, this is wet. Yuck. Right, so in my previous video that I did here, I'll see if I can find the other bit. Like if you were doing Dawson Mountain back in the day when there were trees on it, that's getting the shade, you'd always end up either going up that way or coming down this way, because you've got one side and down the other. And that's where I used to come down. So yeah, wow, this has changed up in here. Number of bloody mosquitoes hasn't changed though. Good grief. I sprayed up as well. Not sure that did a lot of good. Once I'm out of all this mess down here, which should be about another kilometre or two, I'll get back onto a drier piece of trail, because the other piece of trail is higher. This bit of trail down the bottom here tends to sit wet, so yeah, they're after that big timber over on the left. Not too surprised. The problem is people, you know, those trees there, I did those two once, they're all covered in yellow. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to walk this trail since they started all that, but not sure how far I'm going to get. Right, battery change and quick sandwich, peanut butter sandwich. Yeah, this is part of the old trail, so this bit is still here for the moment. Me and a million mosquitoes, it's the only thing that's out here. Yeah. I'm not sure how much of this on this side they're cutting out, so either way, there used to be an important turn off up here. I'm not sure if there will still be one, so I'll head up here and find out. Well, I guess taking my little detour, I cut off the entire bottom section of that loop. Now when I was here last year, this is where you come across the wakey wakey rise and shine. I saw something brown over there. Oh, just an old tree. So when I came through here last year, my last video that I did before it was all cut, I put a piece of tape in this tree, and it's still there. Yeah, when you get to here, you got to kind of cut straight across that piece over there. So, yeah, my tape from last year is still here. Just me and a million mosquitoes enjoying it. Right, I've got to go that way. Ooh, these mosquitoes are relentless. Right, on I go. The old Dawson trail will bring you out there into another clear cut. That over there heads back up towards where I started, I think. And down this way, the old trail should go straight across, because it was a straight line across here now. Let's see if it still does. I think it does. Yes, that looks like a new piece of road. Right, I will continue on down here and find out. So I've just come out of the trail that way. There is some flagging across there, which is good. We've come to this area. There's no flagging here, unfortunately, so you just have to kind of follow your way across. Oh yeah, somebody's put a bit in that tree in the corner there. That's good. I know it's down there. It's down that road over there. Which means I hope the bridge is still there, because if the road is here, I'm hoping they haven't ripped the bridge out yet. Otherwise I've got to wade across the bloody river. Yeah. Mind you, I'm that wet, it ain't gonna make no bloody difference anyway. So. Right, when you get to there, basically straight over, round here. Down the bottom of here should be a bridge, hopefully. If there is, it's good. I have dry feet. Oh, I see they're working. Holy crap, look at all the logs up there, up on the side of the hill there. Oh, sorry, I can't stop, mosquitoes are killing me. Yeah, right. It's as soon as you stop, you just get swarmed. Yeah, I've just reapplied Whilst I changed the battery in the camera, just put on more bug spray too. So I don't have my normal bug spray with me. Normally I have Ben's, but I've only got that bloody wood stuff with me today. I'm not sure how effective that is. I know Ben's is way better. I don't know what's in that stuff, but mosquitoes hate it. These mosquitoes do not seem the slightest bit bothered by the wood stuff, I can tell you. Oh, here comes a guy in there. I think, let me turn this off. I just asked the guy very nicely if they would nicely leave this bridge down the bottom here. He just came up through there, so the bridge must be here. You wouldn't have got that thing across there if there was no bridge. Yeah, down through there, if you cut straight back across through there, it's a bit wet. In fact, this time of year it's probably soaked. But you can actually go straight back across there, right back almost to where I started. In fact, if you went about 5 kilometres that way, it would take you back to where that helipad bit was. I have done that route a few times, but not this time of the year. Oh, good God, no. It's bloody wet in there. That's the thing that you do towards the end of the year. But, these areas that they cut, you have to be careful, because I keep looking up through there. I keep seeing dark shapes at all tree butts and all this kind of stuff. All the roots and that all sticking out the ground. So, yeah. We'll head down this way a little bit, cross the bridge, and see how it's doing. Well, I guess that answers that question. Bridge is here. I figured it must be if he got in here. Yeah. Well, I suppose you need that bloody great rock on the trail. Let's get that off there. We'll be driving over that. Yeah. Yes. This is normally a tiny little creek in the middle of nowhere that you just have to kind of hop, skip and a jump to get across. That's got a sodding great bridge across it. Yeah, right. There's a couple of ways I can go here. But, up through there, there's a little bit of a shortcut, but I want to see where the trail goes across this new road. This is obviously the logging road that they've put in. This I think is going to be the one they haul all the logs out on. So the Tom Snow Trail, that's the Dawson loop I just done. Oh, a bit of it, there's a bloody lot left of it, I tell you. Now if you come up through here where that bridge is, if you wanted to go to Dawson, see where that flagging is over here. I'll go over here and show you. See where that flagging is over there, through that bit of trail. That's how you get to Dawson. It's over through there. Yeah, it's, I was over through that way a little while ago, and heading back to where I'm parked is straight across here. So you have to kind of head across this bit. It's great if you know this area, but if you don't, if you was trying to do the Trans-Canada coming up through here, now they've done all this, you might have a bit of fun with this. I know every square inch of this bit of forest through here, but yeah, that is your way back to where I parked, which is down at, I don't know what it's called there, Pine Woods or whatever they call it now, Demonstration Forest. It's down that way. It's about 3 or 4 kilometres that way. Yeah. So that's where the little bridge used to be. Straight across there where that white post is, that is the trail, and the flagging in the tree there, that is the trail that you want to follow if you're heading across. And it head that way. The other Tom Snow back to where we started is over this way. Right, I shall head that way. Right, so Tom Snow's that way. That's the little cut off, goes down to the bridge. This along the top here. This takes you back to Demonstration Forest area. Whew. This is a little drier up here. My feet aren't, but the trail is. Yeah. This piece of trail along here is much higher, and it kind of follows a ridge along, so this bit should be dry. Cut many trees off of here before now. Oh, hello, garbage. Head off a trail. Bit of tin foil, that don't live out here. Yeah. Right. Let's get out of it, flies. Bloody things are a pain. Yeah. Right, I will head down here and do some more of it. Well, this is much more pleasant, that's for sure. get out of all that logging. Yeah. Whew. Only problem with this bit along the top of it this time of the day is there isn't much shade. There's a few shady bits, but generally speaking you're out in the sun, which along this section seems to be calming the mosquitoes down a bit. That really damp forest bit down the bottom there, oh my god, just absolutely crawling with mosquitoes, millions and millions of them. Yeah. But this is much nicer, eh? That guy I was talking to, I think he was the guy operating the buncher, because I think he'd just gone to get lunch, that's why it all went quiet. Yeah, they were doing some of this earlier in the year, and then weather just turned to absolute rat shit, so they kind of put it off until the ground had kind of dried out enough to drive on, because it was just this whole area up in here is just really swampy, and it's even those guys were just chewing up with their gear. So right, I will put this camera away for a while, continue down the trail. Well, this is one of the few shady spots along this trail. It's anybody who knows this trail, there's a big S bend in it. This is the S bend, and this is the only bit that really has any decent shade in it. Once I get out the other side, I'll be back into the sun again. A couple of small bits of deadfall on here, not much, which is good. But this is part of the Trans-Canada Trail. I regularly walk the bit that goes basically from Bragg Creek all the way up through here. This is the Tom Snow North, and all the way across to Dawson PRA there, the what do they call it, the equestrian site there, Dawson Equestrian. Anyway, yeah, it's about a 40-kilometre stretch that I look after along here. I walk this regularly, and today I thought, oh, I'll go the other way around. I'll go around Dawson Mountain instead. My advice would be not to, until they completely and utterly finish logging in there, because it is a mess, a total mess. And down the bottom, that was as close as I've been to a feeding bear for, as far as I can remember. But I was definitely feeding on something. I've walked past a black bear before that was feeding on dandelions. That was about 30-40 feet away. That was way too close. That one down in there was probably similar distance. It was in the bush. I could hear it snorting and stomping on the ground. It was really pissed that I was there. So my guess would be there's a carcass in there. It's taken something down. Because when I moved up, normally a bear will move forward a little bit just to see what you are and make sure you're actually leaving. But no, it stayed right where it was. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, there was a carcass there. It was guarding something. Yeah, so either way, makes for a bit more of an exciting day, doesn't it? Right, so I will continue down this way. As you can see, it's a much nicer walk. Nice roses everywhere, a million mosquitoes. That's all. Just me and a million bugs. Actually, I've seen more people down that trail planting trees than I've ever seen down that entire trail, ever, in 28 odd years I've been wandering around these mountains. I think in all that time, I don't think I've seen that many people. So, right, I will continue on down this way. One good thing this time of the year, what a great flowers, they're everywhere, all different colours. Paintbrush and purple ones, blue ones, Alberta rose. There's loads more over there. Whew. I've just got a big downhill section to get me back down to river level. But, get off this ridge, get that down to the river. Ooh, she's warming up too. I don't know what the temperature is, but I can tell you, out in the sun, it's hot. Right. So I have to head all the way down this hill, down to the bottom. It should be a little bit cooler down in the river valley, so I'll let you know once I get down there. Here I am back at the beginning. I just come down that trail, and this is where I went. I went right round Dawson Mountain. As a walkable trail, it currently isn't. There's a whole bunch of logging and that still going on up in there. It's a complete mess. Not too far down that way, probably about 3 or 4 kilometers down that way. It's where I ran into where that bear was, and that bear was only, well, that sign that's up there, probably twice that far in the bush, and he was mad. Yeah, That was one really angry bear. Yeah. So the only thing I can think of that would make them that angry and they didn't move would be a carcass. So yeah, might want to avoid that area for a while. But in terms of a walkable loop, it most certainly isn't. Not at the moment. Not a chance in hell. That was a brutal walk around. But I like cross country and what have you. I am absolutely soaked. My feet are soaked. My socks are soaked. I'm very, very tired. I walked, I don't know how much slash I crossed over. The original trail that went round the bottom, that went past the really nice little lake in there. I know they didn't destroy the lake because they're not allowed to, but I couldn't even see that. I don't even know where that was. It was right in that bottom section, somewhere near where I was talking to that lady before I started heading north again. It was somewhere down in there, but let me tell you, you can't even see anything that resembles a trail. Once I finish logging and what have you up in there, what I might do is do that trail again, but go the other way round, and then that might be a bit clearer. Whew, tell you what, it's nice to get back down the bottom here. It's a little bit colder down in here. You wouldn't think that it would be, but I've just descended probably, I don't know, maybe only 100 meters or so from the high point on the back of that mountain. 100, 200, somewhere around there. Not huge. It's not huge at all. But you know, to get back to where I parked, it's down through here. And I did notice when I was down through here the other week, they'd put a whole bunch of new timber down in here to make a new bit of walkway, and they've actually finished it. So when I get down there, I might do a bit of video there. This is the snowmobile crossing for winter, but as you can see, there's still a good creek flowing through there, which is unusual, I have to say. There is still a lot of water out here in the mountains, a lot. Yeah, normally this time of the year, everything's dried up pretty much. I mean, you know, that creek that I crossed to start my trail, normally I can get across there real easy. Today, not quite so easy. So I will continue down the trail and do some more at the bottom. Give you an idea of how much this creek is still flowing. But normally this time of the year, I've walked across there this time of the year and there's nothing in there. The water's just running through the rocks underneath. But as you can see, the water's still on the surface. It's flowing good. I'll take that. This is the new walkway they just built. Rather nice. The old one was kind of rotten, falling to pieces, and every time I come along here there was another hole in it. So I saw the wood stacked up here the other month that I came through, and somebody's actually got it all built. Look at that. Nice big 8x8 in the middle there, hold her up. Excellent. That'll be there for a good few years. Now, might see some fish in here. Oh, it's a bit murky. Yeah, that water's deeper than it looks. Look at the mosquitoes. Oh my god. Yeah. Everybody keeps telling me, you know, oh, drought this, drought that, drought this, drought that. But let me tell you, the amount of water that is still in this forest, that bottom bit of forest that I walked through, that bottom end of the trail, I know it can sit wet, but I needed my welly boots on through there. I can tell you, that was really, really wet. That was not even pleasant wet. That was yuck. But unfortunately, I couldn't go back because it would have meant I'd have to go past that bear again. And you really don't want to piss them off when they're feeding. That is for sure. Yeah. Even this area down in here is sitting still wet. It's very unusual. Yeah, normally this time of year it's dried out quite a bit. This little side creek here over this with this bridge. This one is quite often dry now. We're in July. She's not dry, she's still flowing. Look at that. Yeah, she's still flowing good. This is a nice area down through here. This is a good walk, this woods loop here. It's a nice walk if you've got kids and stuff. Quite often, this time of the year, I won't bother walking all the way up and round. I'll just cut across here. But not today, I'm not. Not unless I wanted to have extremely wet feet. Well, even wetter than they already are. So, which would be a pain. It was a very nice walk around, I must admit. It was nice to see what had happened up in there. But, oh, that was rough. It was nice chatting to those people. There were some nice people up there. That's good, all tree planting. Yeah. I noticed most of the vehicles had BC license plates on, so I don't know whether they're over here doing summer planting or whatever, I don't know. The young lady I was talking to in Green, she'd been planting down there, Bragg Creek there the other week. So, yeah. I don't think they know the area very well because she didn't seem to know the area, but as long as they're planting trees, that's good. I'll take that. Right. Yes, quite often you can walk across there in July. Not so much at the moment. Little detour down to the creek. Very nice. Head up on the bridge. I don't know what these purple clouds are, but there's a lot of these. Alright. These things. Lots of these. And the bees like them too, let's see. Yeah, excellent. Oh, the only problem is with this piece of trail is once you've walked all that way, there's one last bit of uphill. At least it's better now. There's steps, 17 steps, and they've actually made the trail much better than it was. It's less steep. They put like a cross slope trail in now. The trail's longer, pathway's longer, but it's much nicer to walk out, I can tell you. Right, over the bridge. That a good sound. Well, it's nice and cool in here. I'll take that. I'm going to stop here for a bit. Other than I know I've got to go up the hill, so I might as well get it done. Like any job, no sense waiting around, just get it done. At least we do have steps in here now. Oh. These are the best 17 steps at the end of this hike, I tell you. I noticed they put some more drainage rock and what have you on this corner, which is good. Stops the trail eroding. Now I've just got to head up that way back to the parking. Whew. That's a long hot day. Yes, those are very handy steps. Right, I'll continue on up to the top.